Alright, Sopranos fans rejoice, but first, this portion of the video is sponsored by Hamilton watches. More specifically, their Hamilton Khaki Field Far Cry 6 limited edition watch featured in the game Far Cry 6. In the game, the watch gives you better defense while sprinting. In the real world, it gives you an amazing conversation starter and a quality timepiece. It's an automatic watch, so no batteries needed. It's powered by motion. And speaking on the style, I love the fact that it doesn't feel like a watch from a video game. The watch in the video game feels like a watch in the real world, because it is. It helps the world of the game feel more real, and it helps you appreciate the quality of the timepiece itself. And Hamilton watches have been a favorite of filmmakers for decades. Their watches have appeared in over 500 feature films, custom pieces playing a pivotal role in the Men in Black franchise, Tenet, Interstellar, Jack Ryan, cinephile watches for sure. It's a limited edition watch. There are only 1,983 of these timepieces being made. So click the link below, visit the Hamilton Watch website, discover this quality timepiece. Again, that portion of the video is sponsored by Hamilton Watches, and now on to the review. So The Many Saints of Newark is a Sopranos prequel movie. I say that with like a prequel movie tone because it does its part to stand as its own film. It largely follows Dicky Moltisanti, who's the father of Christopher Moltisanti from The Soprano show. Follows the goings on of him and his family, as well as some tension rising in the world of crime. Also racial tensions rising in the area and the time. Now, Alessandro Nivola, who plays Dicky Moltisanti, the movie largely rests on his shoulders. Yeah, it being a crime movie, a Sopranos world movie, there are a lot of support characters who also have a big role and a big part to play in how the movie all comes together. But he's the star, he's the main character. I thought he was great in the movie. He's electrifying, he's magnetic, he's charismatic. You kind of feel for the guy. The movie, all right, well, this is my big confession. I haven't seen The Sopranos. I planned on catching up on the series before this movie came out. I got through season 1, really enjoyed it. Like, I got through season 1, sounds negative, I don't mean it that way. But I watched season 1, wanted to watch more, but then life things happened and it kind of set me back on that. But what I really appreciated about The Sopranos is a thing that I thought they nailed in here in terms of, oh yeah, that's from the show, which is this world's ability to go from, all right, family drama, crime, they never hide that, but you know, you get to the point where you're empathizing with some characters, you're like, you know, there are some good people, and oh my god, that was horrifically violent. The movie does what the show does, which is get you to the point where you forget that these are hardened gangsters and criminals who are capable of doing really horrific things to people. And also, there are some standout performances in here. Vera Farmiga plays Tony Soprano's mother, which even in season 1, you're like, is she just a cranky old lady, or is she emotionally manipulative and an asshole? And yeah, you even get that in the trailer where the school administrator, whoever, is like, oh, your son, he's really smart. She's like, rolls her eyes. I thought she was great. Also, Ray Liotta's in this movie, which at first I just appreciated the fact that Ray Liotta is in this mob movie. And it's kind of hard to talk about his character and who he plays, but at first he didn't really stand out to me. But then at a point in this movie, Ray Liotta steals the scenes he's in. He's a man of few words, but he's more of a presence. He's the person in this movie who's probably the smartest and wisest of all the people in the movie. And he got to that point because of the life he's lived, because he has learned from the mistakes he's made. He's a man who just accepts the reality of his situation. I loved him. Also, young Tony Soprano, who I didn't know was James Gandolfini's son playing him, but when I saw the trailer, I was like, that's his son, or his clone. Pick one. James Gandolfini, in the limited amount of The Sopranos that I have seen, is undeniably incredible in that show. And I thought Michael Gandolfini, I mean, those are some big shoes for him to fill. I just thought he was really good in the movie. And I thought the movie was also really good for Tony Soprano's character. It would have been so easy for it to revolve around Tony Soprano, but he's not in the game yet at this point in his life. So it really wouldn't be a mob movie. It wouldn't be as interesting. It's better to have Tony Soprano be a support character in here and kind of show the way he kind of gets interested in this world. It also makes it feel much more real, you know? It's like Tony Soprano became Tony Soprano, but he didn't mean to. It's not like the world was just parting the seas like, hello, Tony Soprano, we have a table right here waiting for you because you're special and because this is your life. For most of us out there, if a movie was made about our lives, it'd either be boring or you'd have to concentrate on a more interesting element that's around your life in which you would be a supporting character. That's just the harsh reality of life. And it feels more special, the fact that he becomes much bigger in his adult life than he ever expected to be. I thought that was a smart play on the movie's part. Make Tony Soprano one piece, but a larger picture at hand. Leslie Odom Jr. in this movie is also on the rise, But that's the part where I'm like, I don't feel resolution with that arc. And that's where, as much as I feel like it's an advantageous thing for me to watch this movie from the eyes of someone who really hasn't seen The Sopranos, it's a good metric to be like, do I have to have watched The Sopranos in order to enjoy this movie or not? I don't know if there's resolution with that arc in the series. And largely, I felt like the movie abruptly did end. It was just like, oh, and it's over. Okay. It leaves it open for like a sequel could happen that concentrates more around Tony Soprano. Sure. Or it's a one-off that completely abruptly ends. You just pick up years later where Tony Soprano is Tony Soprano. But I have my answer now. Do you need to watch the Sopranos series in order to enjoy this movie? I don't think so. No, I didn't. This movie does its part to be its own compelling mob story. It has Easter eggs and references that you will recognize if you have seen the series. Also, there's a spoiler at the beginning of this movie. So there's that. I was watching, I was like, oh, so all right. Well, I have that answer. My own fault. I should have watched it before now. But it's a movie. If you love mob movies, you can enjoy this movie just on its own merits. And if you love The Sopranos, you'll get more out of it, absolutely. And if for nothing else, I'm interested to watch the entire series of The Sopranos, then watch this movie again and experience it completely differently. There's something cool about that. I like that. I had a really great time with this movie. No alcohol required. All right, so The Many Saints of Newark. Have you seen it? Are you gonna see it? Are you looking forward to it? Are you a Sopranos super fan? Whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.